My accident, it was about 4 years ago. If anybody's to blame, it is myself for turning on the pit auger and going down to the pit. Probably get a little bit complacent because you do the same thing for many years. There's no way in hell that I would have thought that I would have lost my leg. Even almost died. My accident happened at home on the farm on June the 12th, 2014 at about 11:30. One of my jobs is to go to clean out the pit. And the pit is the storage place for the maize before it goes into the grain dryer. Rather than me cleaning and then getting myself out, turning on the auger, letting the maize go into the middle, turning off the auger, then going back down and repeating that process, I thought, no, I'm going to save myself time by turning the pit auger on and going down into the pit. I remember looking at the switchboard and I decided at what speed to turn the auger on. 10 being like really fast and 1 like really slow. I think from memory I chose at about 8. The reason why I thought I was safe is because I was standing on a safety guard. I was 20 seconds from finishing the whole job. And then I felt this tug. And then it started taking me in. And I tried to get out. I put my right foot up, trying to get it out. And it just pulled me in. I remember looking up and thinking, shit, like, there's nobody around. I started screaming. I call them like my death screams. It was like, ha, 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 like really high-pitched. Managed to get myself to the furthest right-hand side of the pit, and then I looked down, and all I saw was my tibia bone. There was nothing. There was just the bone, no meat on it, nothing. And then I started like convulsing, like freaking out. It was that point there when I thought I was going to die. That's when my workmate came up to the pit. It honestly would have looked like a horror scene. Laid on the ground for a long time. It was about 45 minutes. Ambulance eventually rocked up. When they moved me from the ground to the stretcher, I screamed so hard. And then they loaded me into the ambulance and away I was at the hospital. They wheeled me into a room and I could tell it was really bad because I could just see the nurse's eyes and stuff just so really big. I probably wasn't smiling, but inside I was so happy. I was honestly jumping for joy. I'm like, yes, I made it. I'm alive. And then it was pretty much soon after that that I passed up. When I lost my leg, that was really hard. About 3 months after, it hit me. And I'm like, shit, this is gonna be me for the rest of my life. There's nothing I can do about it. Rehabilitation took about 9 months. I always challenged myself. I always had goals. Even in hospital, I'm like, no, I'm gonna decide to stand up on my one leg and go to the bathroom. And this was like only 2 days after my accident. Because I'd never used crutches before in my life, I had to learn all that. I remember the first time putting my stump into this socket here. It just was such a weird feeling. Putting on my prosthetic leg, it felt really heavy. Learning how to walk, it was a challenge, I suppose. And I didn't know how to use my prosthetic leg. You know, I was just taking like little minute steps. The hardest part, getting a prosthetic, the socket that fitted right. I remember coming home, the first thing I wanted to do was take off my leg, and I did. But I didn't really want to cook dinner because it involves me with crutches, and you try and hold something with crutches, you can't really do it. So there was many times that I just went straight to bed. It was very hard. It was probably the darkest time I had, actually. Eventually, I snapped out of it. I had to get used to living my life without my leg. Everybody gave me support. The Edgecombe community was amazing. And my mates helped me out as well.
What are you up to at work, bro?
I'm travelling up to Hamilton today. Don't have to wake up to hop every morning now.
Crash up.
I met Matt when I was 7 years old. Very sarcastic and funny. He's always up for a laugh. So yeah, it was quite a shock, really. Until something happens like that to someone that you know, you don't really expect it. Everyone thinks they're, Superman or something like that, and this kind of stuff will never happen to me or, my circle of friends and family around me. So it was quite sobering to think that, we're not invincible and, adversity happens to the best of us.
It was about 9 months before I returned to work after the accident. I didn't get post-traumatic stress. I don't get nightmares. I still, to this day, work with augers, and I still, to this day, clean out the pit that almost killed me. So my job is a mill hand. So I mix meal. I'm always walking a lot, lifting bags, climbing up and down ladders. If my leg isn't fitting right, it's a real challenge. Like, I've come to work dreading to put on my leg, knowing that it's going to be extremely painful to work all day, but I do it. I suck it up. Oh, this is my work leg now. So this here's rubber. So when I kneel down, I'm not kneeling on the fiberglass because my last socket started cracking. So when I kneel down, it's fantastic. It was bloody hard coming back here at first. I could have easily not come back and said, no, it's too hard. I think if it was anybody else, they would have not done it. They wouldn't have even bothered. But, I'm up for a challenge. And if I didn't at least try and come back after
from a horrible accident, I would never have come back here.
My family, it's still really difficult. Because my dad's carrying a lot of grief. I think it's still going to bear on everyone's minds that this is where I lost my leg, so maybe they're still a bit cautious with me.
G'day, Matt.
How's it going?
Good.
Matt, right. Matthew, pleasure.
Sure, bro.
Casey.
Buddy.
Very diverse group of friends I have. I'd rather do things for them than them doing things for me.
You didn't have to light up.
Yeah, but they're really cool, you know. We always hang out. We often go luging, we go tubing down the river every summer, which is awesome.
So, do you have dreams with one leg or two?
My dreams that I do have, there's like other amputees in my dreams, or my leg gets injured. I still get phantom pains to this day. It's like somebody's like getting a knife and jabbing me in the ankle, or my big toes throbbing, and it like lasts for about 20 seconds.
You've dealt with it well, though, Matthew.
Thank you, Casey.
A lot of people will handle it a lot worse than you did. Yeah, you know.
Oh, no, I mean, you guys were so supportive anyways. Like, the whole community was freaking amazing.
Yeah. It's what friends are for.
I know, right? What really, really frustrates me is if, like, I get, like, an infection or something happens, like it rubs and I can't wear my leg. Yeah. You're always going through something. So it's not an easy... It's not easy. The hospital, it was extremely challenging. But JJ, did you not know that I'd lost my leg, or?
No, bro, no.
Really?
She said that a serious accident had happened, and then she just said, you want to go over to the hospital?
It's like, oh, Matthew's cut his toe off or something. Like, oh, really? He's probably just like stubbed his toe or something. Next minute, you cut your whole leg off.
What do you say? Matt was like, we're going to have to sell that Maze's blood and bone. on the day after he lost his leg.
Before my accident, my goals were like to pay off my house, to travel, continuing with my Japanese drumming, and to be involved with my community. So notice how my arm is swinging around, that I'm getting ready to hit it. Nice! I've always given back anyways before my accident, but I just do a little bit more now. There's not a lot that happens with younger amputees, and I thought to myself, man, I want to create something that would bring us together, something that was challenging but fun. And then I thought, man, I used to snowboard. I haven't snowboarded with my prosthetic leg. Wouldn't it be cool to create an event? So I approached the Hamilton Society and I asked them, would you help me create the amputee snow trip? Yeah. No, all good. And are you skiing or snowboarding?
Skiing.
Sweet. And have you skied before?
Never.
You haven't skied before. This will be the second year that we're doing it. No, all good. I have to find out how many people are coming, what they're doing, if they're wanting to do snowboarding or skiing. I need to sort out payment because we have to pay for one night's accommodation. I have to sort out forms, so there's a little bit involved. The weather is my biggest concern. I haven't got a plan B, but if it rains and the weather's crap, well, we'll sort that out. So I don't know what leg I'll use. This leg has got a lot more flex, like a lot more flex. So I just don't know what's going to be easier for me snowboarding. So this is Bruce. He's my stump sock. He keeps my stump nice and warm. My sister-in-law made him. Yeah. He's been everywhere. I'm really excited about meeting amputees who I haven't met before. I'm excited that there's people coming on the trip that hasn't skied or snowboarded before. Last year, a lady in Wellington, she'd never been on the snow before, ever, because of the trip, and she was skiing for the first time in her life, and she's in her 60s. When we meet up, we always look at each other's legs and find out what legs they have and what types of sockets and any modifications and then any stump issues and that. So we're always talking about our stumps and our legs and our feet.
Yeah, he's sort of just like put his arm around it.
First of all, I want to say thank you guys all so much for coming. So this is New Zealand's second ever amputee snow trip, and it wouldn't have happened without the support from Waikato Society. This year it's growing. I think last year there were about 14 people, I think, roundabout. This year there's about 21 people. Yeah. It's cool that you're around people with the same disability as you, so they have a complete understanding of the balancing act, the pressure, and you're moving from place to place as well, and then you can talk about your issues and stuff. Yeah. What happened to yourself?
So I'm a triple amputee. I have a through knee and then...
oh, you're a through knee?
Yep, a through knee and through ankle. And then obviously I'm missing my right hand. And it's all congenital from birth.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when I called you on the phone,
yeah.
I said, bro, are you like below knee or above knee? And you're like, both. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, I got my hand as well. And I'm like, what the frick happened to you? It was our first conversation. I'm like, you poor bugger. What the hell am I complaining about? I've only got like half a leg missing. I can't remember. Have I told you what happened to me?
No. No, what happened to you?
So I got caught up in a piece of machinery at work, and it was going, and my foot got stuck in the middle of it. So it was pretty rough.
How long ago was that?
So that was 4 years ago.
After that happened, the months after, did you think that you'd be doing something like that?
No.
In a couple of years?
Not at all. That's, I suppose, what would you call it? It's opened up my world.
Screwed it with him, because this one's fused. I jumped on that one and I use But he's just under my advantage to propel with that one.
Right, yeah, okay.
Just smash it.
So we're planning on leaving tomorrow at around about 6:30. So the lesson's going to start at 9 o'clock. So we've got 2 groups, snowboarding group and skiing group.
How long does it take to gear up?
Mike, how long did it take us last year to get our equipment? It was quite a while, eh?
Oh yeah, I think it took you guys a bit, yeah. Around that rentals type of stuff, for those that haven't actually done it before, there'll be a bit, because what the instructors will do will be watching with the gear as well.
Okay.
'Cause there might be some changes that we need to make, like put a few bits and pieces in, like heel lifts and things like that.
From memory, on the snowbirds, it's
go
a lot
quite
different
high,
than
but-
your everyday shoes, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to create is that if you don't have an ankle flex,
Yeah.
okay, or very little ankle flex, we're trying to create an artificial flex as such, you know, so that we can actually get you to move over the toe edge or heel edge if you're snowboarding.
Yeah.
They'll take a bit of time with that, and that's really important because that can make and break your day.
Abby.
There's a few people who have all of their equipment already, so they're just going to meet us where we will end up after we go through rentals.
Right, let's herd these cats.
All right.
I just had it out before now. Sweet.
And would you like left foot or right foot?
I don't know.
Or either?
Either. I think so.
Either? Yeah, no worries.
This is the second time with my artificial legs.
So have you had it your whole life? Or
What's
was it
that?
Your artificial leg?
No, just 4 years.
Oh, 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow, so you're still sort of getting used to it a little
I'm all right now.
Yeah?
Like, I was really concerned last year because I didn't know how it was going to go.
bit? Yeah.
Yeah. But it was really good. Last year was the first time snowboarding with my prosthetic leg. And there is a difference. You've got no ankle. With snowboarding, when you like lean forward, your normal pressure would be on your toes and that. But for me, it's kind of on my stump. They're suggesting that I should put my good foot forward, but for me, it's easy to put my amputated foot forward. But there's so much pressure on my right foot that it gets really tired faster. So you just put your legs in there? Yeah. Do you? That is awesome. Bro!
Like that, because it's low center of gravity.
That is like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I reckon you just gotta keep it simple, eh?
Whoops. I don't organise the amputee snow trip for myself, it's more for other people. Well, I do it because I like doing it. It's bringing the other people together, getting them on the snow, skiing and snowboarding for the first time. Man, that is cool.
So lift your trousers up for me. So is there anything I can do with the setup to make it easier for you? Because we can adjust the high back so that it sits a little bit further forward so that it keeps your knees in that bent position. It makes it harder to pull them back. Is there anything you want me to do to make it easier?
To be honest, I don't know, because until I get on it, I have no idea how it's going to feel.
Yeah! You feel stable?
Oh, yeah.
You do? If I let you go, you're not going to fall over?
No.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Yeah! How did you lose your leg?
So I had bone cancer when I was 11 years old, and it was in my knee, just that sort of part of my knee. So I'm an above knee amputee, so to get rid of the cancer, had to completely lose my knee as well.
Do you talk to many amputees?
Like, I've got some amazing friends, but they can't always relate to some of the things that are challenging for me. And so the reason I wanted to come along this weekend was to just get a little bit more involved and, I guess, interact with people that have similar challenges. So for me, it would be when I get cuts and blisters on the top of my stump, because I'm a mum, so I've got 2 sons, so it's sort of
Makes it a bit harder.
Yeah, I guess I'm more frustrated because I would want to be, you know, I feel like I need to be looking after them, and sometimes if I'm not feeling completely confident with my own independence, I feel like I'm sort of challenged to look after my own kids.
If something happens and I can't wear my leg and I'm back to crutches, that really annoys me. But yeah, I try not to let that get me down too much, but that's one of the things that, I mean, I don't get depressed or anything, but yeah, I just get frustrated.
Yeah, it's really great to come along this weekend and just get out there and have some fun.
Well, hopefully we can, you know, continue this and...
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I think the snow trip's going to be an annual event.
Cool.
And then maybe later on down the track we can do something else.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Yeah,
maybe
man.
tropical islands.
Yeah. You right? You right? Okay, Ben, watch. With my arms, Yeah, try and keep him like that. And just go down straight like this. After my accident, I'm just, you know, really thankful for everybody, for my family and my friends and the Hitchcock community. I'm probably a lot more outspoken, maybe. And I probably get out there a bit more. Like, if my mate rings me up and asks me to go luging, I'm probably more inclined to say yes. But I try not to plan too far in advance because you don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, man.
I take full responsibility for my accident. In hindsight, I should not have gone down into the pit where the pit auger going. And I can accept that. It doesn't upset me saying that at all. It is what it is. But now I'm probably a lot more safety conscious.